Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion came out on December 13th, 2022 and is regarded by the executive producer as a bridge to play between Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. And with Rebirth coming out in just a couple days and me not having ever played the original Crisis Core, I thought it would be the perfect time to platinum what I think, after playing, is a pretty good Final Fantasy game. The game contains 42 bronze trophies, 5 silver, and 3 gold, with 29 of them being missable. Including the platinum, this brings our list to 51 total trophies. This video will also contain major and minor story spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled for whatever reason, click off the video now. The story starts with our introduction to the main character, Zack Fair. We see him being dispatched to stop the Wutai and regain control of a train. Also meeting another major character and Zack's friend, first soldier operative, Angeal. After securing the train, we get our first taste of combat, and I earned my first trophy for the game. Come and get it.
Won a battle for the first time, the first of many.
I learned about the DMW screen, which will be very important for a trophy later on, and after the first time using a limit break, I get another trophy.
Oh snap. There we go. Prove your honor to me, another trophy. Performed a limit break for the first time. Oh my god, is that who I think it is? Oh my god, it's Sephiroth.
And it turns out that the mission Zack was on was just a simulation and not actually a real mission. And then after a cutscene, I get a trophy for clearing the prologue.
There we go, embrace your dreams. Clear the prologue.
At the start of chapter 1, I learn about the mail system, and there is a trophy tied to this for receiving a piece of mail from every available sender. There are 18 available senders in the game, and 8 of them are missable. And I also get access to missions. Yay, missions. There are a good amount of trophies tied to the mission area, and we have to do all the missions in the game for their respective trophies. Yes, all of them. Zack and Angeal are then dispatched to Wutai to help Shinra. After breaking into Fort Tamblin, I have the opportunity to get the first missable trophy of the game, Hero of the Wutai War. And what this has you do is go around defeating 16 groups of enemies. But on the checklist, it only shows 11. So there are 5 hidden groups that I will have to find.
This should be the last one. There we go, there is 16 out of 16. It actually won't pop until I meet up with the commander, but after that, it will pop. Is that Yuffie? And right here, since we met up with Lazard, we should get the trophy Hero of the Wutai War. There we go, Hero of the Wutai War. Receive highest evaluation from Lazard for assault on Fort Tamblin.
While Zack tries to help Angeal after getting ambushed, he notices that the people attacking aren't Wutai troops. All of a sudden, a materia sends us into a f***ing boss fight with Ifrit. Sephiroth then shows up after the fight and unmasks the people who tried to attack, and it's Genesis? Twice? Turns out that these are actually Genesis copies. Genesis is the missing first-class soldier, and Angeal also disappeared. The chapter ends with Zack telling Sephiroth that Angeal would never be a traitor.
There we go, he wouldn't betray us. Cleared chapter 1.
In chapter 2, Lazard wants Zack to go to Genesis's hometown, and accompanying us will be Sung. Before continuing on with the main story, I decided to do some side missions, and I managed to get myself all the way up to 2%. Oh, this is gonna take a while. After heading outside, I joined the Genesis and Angeal fan club, along with Loveless, another Genesis fan club. And as if the missions weren't annoying enough, some mission lines are missable. Like if you don't talk to this guy right here, you miss out on a mission line.
Yay, 5%. I'm done with 5% of the missions. Yay. Only 95% more to go. Alright, now we can start working towards the trophy Master Mako Stone Miner. And pretty much for this trophy, we need to go on 6 different missions and bring him 6 different Mako Stones. And they're just right here. Mako Stone, we got to complete all 6 of these. Bring them all to him, and then we should get the trophy. There's 1. There's 2. Boom. That should be 3. There we go. There's 4, the HP Mako Stone. There's a 5th one, the Attack Mako Stone. That's the last materia, the Luck Mako Stone. Now all I have to do is just turn all 6 of these in. There we go. Master Mako Stone Miner. Prevented the materia room from being shut down. Yeah, that was the goal of getting all of them. The missions were so that this guy wouldn't lose his job and the Mako room wouldn't be shut down. We arrive at Banora, and after defeating some Genesis copies, turns out the technology to transport Genesis's abilities and traits was stolen from Shinra Laboratories. After a brief encounter with Angeal and Genesis, I earn a trophy for cutting missiles in half with my sword. And there we go, Slicing Soldier. cut down every incoming shell. So I have to restart this mission because I'm gonna miss out on the trophy Banora treasures. I should have inspected all 5 of the treasures before I went to the factory, and I did not do that. So I have to completely restart this whole mission. But it shouldn't take me too long to catch up because a lot of the stuff was just cutscenes and I could just skip through that now. There's all 5 observed. So now just have to continue on until we get to the airstrike portion. Okay, so now what I have to do is collect all 5 of the hidden items and then we will get the trophy. And then the last one is right here. So now once we enter this house, we should get the trophy. Perfect bonus, 500 gil obtained. And there we go, Banora treasures. Collected all items and arrived at Angeal's house before the Banora airstrike. And besides story-related trophies, those are the only missable trophies for Chapter 2. Yeah, inside Angeal's house, he killed his own mom. And of course, like any other reasonable person, Zack asks why. But is stopped by Genesis, and while Angeal walks away, Genesis summons Bahamut and we're thrown into a boss fight. Oh, there goes my Wi-Fi connection. Don't know why that went out, but whatever. Hopefully I'm still recording. I don't see why the recording would stop. I mean, alright, there we go. Defeated Bahamut. And Chapter 2 ends, unfortunately, with Banora getting destroyed. And there we go. We're not monsters. Cleared Chapter 2. Chapter 3 starts with Zack saying that the war is finally over, but all that Zack can think about is where his baby Angeal went. But there's no time for that. There's trophies to be earned. And I earned one for clearing some of Dr. Hojo's simulation battles. Alright, and after that, first rate soldier. Defeated all virtual data in the training room. More missions! Zack gets promoted to first class soldier, and after equipping the new drip, we then learn about materia fusion. And I should have utilized this earlier, but like a dum-dum, I completely skipped over the tutorial because my small brain cannot comprehend what was going on. But there is a trophy for utilizing the materia fusion. Our next mission, we're tasked with taking out Angeal and Genesis as they have deserted Shinra, with Sephiroth accompanying us. Me and Sephi Weffy on a mission together? Now there is one missable trophy in this chapter, and that is everyone's hero, and we have to save 3 people on the soldier floor, and we have to save 2 people in Loveless Avenue. Nice, 5,000 gil. Alright, and that's everybody on the soldier floor. It was just a Shinra employee and a soldier. Oh, wow. And with the help of Dr. Hollander, a scientist who's salty with Shinra, he helps Genesis make an army of copies to attack the Shinra headquarters. Oh, it's Reno, is that his name? And this guy, I don't like them. Hello, Cisne. Alright, and there's the DMW image for Cisne. Alright, now let's go save these last 2 people in the Loveless Avenue. Alright, and that should be everyone saved. There we are, everyone's hero. Saved everyone calling for help during the assault on the Shinra building in Chapter 3. And that is the only missable trophy for this chapter. And getting a call from Sephiroth, he says that Angeal has been sighted and they come to Mako Reactor 5. He then says we're going to fail to eliminate them. And it turns out that Genesis isn't the only one who can be copied, because this is an Angeal copy. After Sephiroth and Zack track down Hollander's secret laboratory, they then learn that Hollander used Genesis and Angeal as a part of Project G, an attempt to create super soldiers infused with extraterrestrial lifeform Genova's cells. Sephiroth faces off against Genesis, and Zack pursues Hollander. And Angeal, intent on keeping Hollander alive so he can possibly be returned back to normal, prevents Zack from killing the doctor and knocks him into the slums of Midgar, thus ending Chapter 3. And there's the trophy, Angel's Dream of One Thing. Cleared Chapter 3. Oh, it's Aerith! Alright, and there's Aerith's DMW. Nice. Another one for the trophy. Alright, there we go. We get the Chocobo image added to the DMW for completing this mission. And after this mission right here, we get Kate Sith's DMW. And immediately after the next mission, I get the Moogle DMW. And then after this quest, we will get the Tonberry DMW. In cleaning up the missions, the last thing that I'm going to do is getting the DMW image for the magic pot. All this has us do is just follow the prompts on screen that it tells us to do. So we're going to use jump, we're going to use Fyra, we're going to use gravity, and last we're going to use Assault Twister. And that will give us the magic pot DMW image. Now we get to the most annoying part of the game for me, trying to get Zack's wallet back from this stupid kid, Bruno. I hate you, Bruno.
Basically, Zach's wallet was stolen by a boy named Bruno and makes you go all the way around the shopping center of the slums to track him down. It's so useless. I really don't like this part. And to make matters worse, I missed out on a missable trophy that involves this little shit, so I had to reload a save to attempt to do it again. But it did work out because I also missed the Master Blender, Bingo, and Godlike trophies. After reloading the save, I get the Master Blender, and thanks to my pay-to-win DualSense Edge controller, I get the Godlike trophy with ease. Normally this trophy's kind of hard because the way you gotta move the camera around and Zach around, but with a DualSense Edge, you don't gotta worry about that. There we go, there's the Godlike trophy, rated to have Godlike speed in collecting materia. And as I'm heading back to Shinra HQ, Bruno will stop me and tell me that me and Aerith make a good couple. Thus, we will get the trophy. That was very, very annoying to get. And that's what the dialogue we were looking for. That way we can get the trophy. Good match for Aerith. There we go. Good match for Aerith. Told by Bruno that you and Aerith make a good couple. But I missed out on another trophy. And the trophy is called Bingo. And this is for guessing the right number for this guessing game. So for the game, I pretty much just have to guess how many people that pass are going to be children. So I guess it's all RNG. I'm just going to pick number 2. Honestly, I think I'm just going to keep spamming 1 until I get it. I really don't care. And there's the trophy, Bingo. Guess the exact number in the number guessing game. Now I can move on. Zach has to return to the top of the plate due to another Genesis attack. This time targeting Professor Hojo, Shinra's head of science department. While Sephiroth is sent to secure the president, Zach is sent to Hojo's aid. Alright, now there's a few trophies in here that we have to get. The first trophy, Precise Restoration, requires you to perfectly match up the Mako recovery unit with the time, but the thing is the switch is broken, so when the minigame begins, it counts down from 5, but it stops at 3. The goal is to perfectly press your X or A timing to flip the switch so that it lands on the 0, even though you can only see the 5, 4, and the 3. It's very annoying, a very dumb trophy. I didn't like it. There we go. My god. That took way too many tries than I would like to admit. There we go. Precise Restoration. Achieve 100% recovery with the Mako recovery unit. Thankfully, the next one is just answering a couple questions. And there we go. There is the second missable trophy of this section of significant worth. And the last missable trophy for this section is Cell Raider, and this just requires us to gather some keys and open some cells. The one thing I will have to equip is Steal, so I can get the keys from the monsters. There we go. That's all we gotta do is just steal all of the jail keys from these guys. There we go. Cell Raider. Check all cells on the 67th floor of the Shinra building. Genesis confronts Hojo, who rebuffs him and claims Hollander is a second-rate scientist. Jeez. Who would not be able to cure his degradation. And then there's a bunch of useless dialogue like Genesis quoting Loveless is his favorite thing to do, And then after, Angeal and Zack beat the Genesis army out of Midgar and Genesis flies off, summoning a Bahamut Fury for Zack to fight. He really loves these summons, huh? And that's the end of chapter 4, I think we're on. Where did everyone go? Cleared chapter 4. In chapter 5, we start out doing squats. Gotta stay in shape if you want to be a first class soldier. And for trophies, of course. There is Shinra's Squats Champion. Achieve victory against the soldier second class in the physical fitness test. Nice. Missions completed 25%. Completed 25% of all missions. It feels like I've done so many missions, but I've done so little. Alright, now it's time for another missable trophy. We gotta find 6 of the Wutai spies that have infiltrated Midgar, and finding each of these spies will unlock a mission, so we will need that as well for the mission completionist trophy. But that is the last one. We got the Walnut Wood ×1 and Wutai's Nemesis. Trophy earned. Caught all the Wutai spies that had infiltrated Midgar. And we're actually gonna unlock a new fan club here. All we have to do is just answer a few questions correctly, and we will get access to the Silver Elite fan club. Alright, there we go. We have joined the Silver Elite fan club. Our journey then takes us to Modao, an abandoned town in the north, and we meet this guy named Cloud, a Shinra infantryman. He looks kind of familiar. The reason they're in Modao is because there have been reportings of Genesis being there, but their helicopter is shot down, so they have to go on foot. Zack and Cloud are able to bond due to both of them being country boys. They stumble across an abandoned warehouse, so of course we're going to sneak inside, and also get a trophy. This next trophy requires us to sneak inside the facility without being caught. And if you get caught, you lose. Well, I mean, not really, but you do have to reload your save and try again. It does take me a couple tries, but eventually I do get the trophy. Alright, inside the facility, Genesis is very angry with Hollander because he cannot stop his degradation. He decides he wants to find Genova to use her cells for the cure. But Hollander says nobody knows where Genova is. Genova is an extraterrestrial life form, more of that later. But it's a good thing that we show up because it's boss fight time. This two-phase boss fight with Genesis is fairly easy. I would watch out for his ability to poison you, but with some potion/cure spam, it isn't too difficult. Granted, this is a weakened version of Genesis, so this isn't even his final form. After the boss fight, Genesis falls into the abyss below, but there's no way he's dead, right? I mean, he has a wing. He could just fly up if he wanted to.
Alright, well, we get the Genesis image for the DMW.
At an abandoned bathhouse, Zack finds Angeal and Hollander. And Hollander explains how Angeal is the perfect specimen because he injected Angeal's mom with Genova cells. Oh, and the G in Project G doesn't stand for Genesis. It stands for Jillian, which is Angeal's mom. And it turns out that Angeal didn't even kill his mom. She took her own life. Why? I don't know. Angeal then absorbs a bunch of monsters to turn into this thing. And then after the fight with Angeal, he gives Zack the Buster Sword. Dr. Hollander is captured and this seemingly ends this part of the story.
Alright, and that's chapter 5. We get a trophy, protect your soldier honor, cleared chapter 5. This game is getting pretty good.
Chapter 6 is on the beach, woo! But it doesn't last long because there's Genesis copies. Sung, who is also here, thinks that Genesis is controlling his copies from the life stream. The life stream is the plane of afterlife spirits are said to return to upon death. Our vacation is then cut short because Junon is under attack by an unknown force. Junon is where Dr. Hollander was sent after being taken in Modaoheim, and Genesis was actually the one behind the attack. His army wrecks through Junon and Hollander is able to escape.
Alright, so now it's time for another missable trophy. This one, immovable object. And pretty much we just have to defeat 30 enemies. It's not a very hard trophy. These enemies are going to pop up around this area right here, and we just have to defeat all of them until the trophy pops. And there's the trophy, immovable object. Defeat all enemies in defense of the Junon perimeter.
Genesis copies help Hollander make his escape, and Genesis looks on.
Alright, and there is chapter 6 done. There's a trophy, did Genesis really die? Cleared chapter 6. How the hell did this thing open the door? And now I'm going to be getting the trophy, Fan Club Savior. This is another missable trophy we have to do, just gotta talk to a few people. We get Fan Club Savior. Helped every fan club continue their activities. And now we finally get to join the Zack Fair fan club. We just have to talk to the receptionist here. I would like to join my own fan club. There we go, Fan Club Aficionado. Joined every fan club.
After going to see Aerith again, we make a flower wagon together and try to sell the flowers, but it doesn't really work out.
This is actually the point of no return, which is pretty wild because we still have 3 chapters that we have to do. So obviously I'm not going to continue on. I'm going to be clearing up a little bit more side stuff. Here we go, Midgar full of flowers. Constructed every flower wagon type.
After some cleanup with missions, it's time to do the final chapters of the game.
And there's our trophy for completing chapter 7.
Sephiroth, Zack, and Cloud, along with another Shinra guard, arrive in Nibelheim. We learn that Sephiroth's mother's name is Genova. Interesting.
Now we can start working towards the trophy 7 Wonders Expert, and this is for completing all the 7 wonders in Nibelheim. Pretty much this little boy right here is going to give us 7 locations to go to, and we have to explore all of them, and then the trophy will pop. Pretty easy.
I forgot to mention that 6 of them are available in chapter 8, but the last one is only available in chapter 9.
Oh my god, it's Tifa. Yeehaw.
Here in this water well thing, we get a materia. And this is actually a DMW image and the only missable one in the game, so you do have to get this in order to get the trophy. Tifa then guides us to a Nibel reactor, and inside they find monsters that were created by an overexposure to Mako. Sephiroth finds a tank labeled Genova, which is his mom. Genesis then arrives and asks Sephiroth to do him a solid. Since Sephiroth can't create clones of himself, he can't degrade. So Genesis then asks if he can use his genetic material to help cure him of his degradation. Sephiroth is like, nah, and then decides to lock himself away in the Shinra Manor basement to educate himself. Such a smart boy. but it backfires and Sephiroth becomes insane, causing him to destroy Nibelheim and killing most of the population. I do another requirement for the 7 Wonders trophy and then pursue Sephiroth up the mountain to the reactor where Sephiroth tries to free his mother. We are thrown into a boss fight with Sephiroth, and after the fight, he's able to get the upper hand, but Cloud comes to our rescue, throwing Sephiroth into the life stream. The end of Chapter 8 shows Professor Hojo taking Zack and Cloud's bodies to start a new experiment.
That's the end of Chapter 8. This game is crazy. There's our trophy. I'll come visit. Cleared Chapter 8. Alright, and now we have the mail for the last wonder, pretty much telling us what the wonder is, where we can go to it. And the location is actually right here on the map. So if you needed it, here you go. We're just gonna pick this up. And 7 Wonders Expert. And now we have the opportunity to get another missable trophy, Zack the Sniper. What we have to do is there are areas with sniper rifles, and all I have to do is just take these out. Not very hard. At least I don't think it will be. And yeah, we just gotta do that. I think there's eight of them. And the trophy is for not letting any of them escape. So I have to kill all of them without a single one of them escaping. Alright, and that should be all of the robots. None of them escaped, as you can see up in the top left. Once we finish this section, the trophy will unlock. There we go, Zack the Sniper. Did not allow a single gun bullhead to escape while sniping.
Escaping to the countryside, Zack runs into Cisne, who was sent to secure the fugitive sample. Surprised that it is Zack and seeing Cloud in the state that he is in, agrees to let the both of them go, and even lends Zack a motorcycle with a passenger car for Cloud. Well, that's nice. While on the run, we run into Genesis and one of his copies eat a chunk of Zack's hair. Gross. And then turns into a monster. Double gross. Reason being is while Hojo had us for his experiment, he put Sephiroth's cells inside of us. How he got those cells, I'm not sure. But Genesis wants to take the 2 of us to stop his degradation. Can we start a GoFundMe for this guy to stop his degradation? Jeez. After defeating the monster, Zack decides now of all times would be a great time to go to his hometown Gongaga to see his parents. But Cisne then shows up once again to warn Zack, telling him how going there would be obvious. We run into Genesis and Hollander, now a Genesis copy himself, but more importantly, could they have not cut this sound out? I mean, it's honestly really annoying.
You did it to yourself?
Next, I go for the last missable trophy of Chapter 9, Waterfall Chaser. For some reason, you have to defeat 7 waves of enemies before you can even attempt to get the trophy, but once you do, you have to get all 10 of these chests without touching a single monster. And in classic Son of Platinum's fashion, of course I fail my first attempt. But my second attempt, I complete it and get the trophy. Another fight, this time with Hollander. After the quick fight, the old man dies. RIP Bozo. And then we return to Lazard, who is an Angeal copy. He has inherited Angeal's feelings, which is why he is deciding to help Zack. But he betrayed us, so I don't really understand that. Lazard says that Genesis is trying to obtain the gift of the goddess, and that he must be stopped. And after some more dialogue, the chapter ends. And there's Chapter 9 done. We'll all be heroes. Cleared Chapter 9. Almost done, there's only one more chapter. Zack puts 2 and 2 together, and no, it's not 4. It's where Genesis has been hiding all this time. Since he's been carrying around a Banora white apple, literally every single cutscene, that's where Zack goes, to Banora, finding himself in an underground cavern that is definitely Final Fantasy-esque. The goal to unlock the final door is getting the 7 goddess materia through chests that are spread all throughout the cavern. There is a missable trophy in this chapter, Cage Opener, that I do get, and after getting all 7 goddess materia, we unlock the door to the final boss. What we're going to do is we're actually going to change difficulty to hard, because for the Soldier of Legend trophy, you don't have to play all the game on hard, just beat the final boss on hard difficulty, and then you should get the trophy. I gotta lock in, man. I'm on hard mode now. Okay, final boss. This was rough. My build was definitely not up to par with hard mode, getting rolled over and over and over again. I think I have to grind up some equipment and stuff. I just don't feel prepared with the equipment that I have. While grinding up for the final boss, I get the trophies Male Completionist, got Materia Fusion down, Overpowered, and 50% mission completion. Alright, we're back. Quite a while later. Level 55. This is the build. Darkness just there to get the HP. Electrocute. Self-explanatory. Hellfire Raga. Got the Ottoman Bangle to set the HP to 99,999. The Shinra Beta. plus for the vitality, and brutal to go above the damage limit of 9,999. It puts it all the way up to 99,999. This will be able to make us one-shot enemies, things like that, especially on hard mode. Let's beat this final boss. Yeah, I'm one-shotting these enemies. Okay. So I did overlevel a bit, but you know, whatever. Oh yeah, I also have Lucky Punch just because this is like the best materia in the game. Now, if it's like every other Final Fantasy game, there's probably like 2 or 3 phases. I'm sure this is meant to be way more of a badass fight, but we're just pressing 2 buttons. And after this next one, he's done. After the fight, there's a cutscene that involves the goddess and she kills Genesis, but his body is still there. So Zack drags his limp body to his campsite with a still knocked out Cloud, but this time with a dying Lazard as well, in a pretty bizarre picnic of half dead bodies. Oh, well, now there's one dead body because Lazard's dead. Zack gathers everyone with the Banora Whites and symbolically completes the reenactment of Loveless, the thing that Genesis was spewing on about the whole game. With Genesis as the prisoner, Angeal as the wanderer, represented by his copies, and Zack the hero. Throughout his fight with Zack, Genesis has realized the true gift of the goddess, soldier honor. I don't know how true that is though. Soldier's pretty shitty. And now it's time for a pretty emotional part, Zack's final stand. No matter how many Shinra troops we take down, Zack is eventually overpowered and left fatally wounded. As the rain falls over Midgar and Cloud finally cured of his Mako poisoning, he sees his dying friend Zack, and then Zack says that he will be his
living legacy.
And like Angeal before him, passes down the Buster Sword to Cloud. Angeal then descends from the sky to accept Zack into the life stream. And yes, Zack, you did become a hero. And that is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Very good game, very fun. I did enjoy it a lot. And the game ends how it all started, but this time with Cloud on the train, ready to start one of the greatest games of all time, Final Fantasy VII. That's hard. And there we go. Thank you, Zack. Clear chapter 10. And Soldier of Legend. Clear the game in hard mode. I didn't clear the whole game in hard mode, just the final boss. And with me beating the game, all I have is 7 more trophies for the platinum, and they all pretty much revolve around missions. 1,000 Shinra troopers. Oh my god, I did it. Oh, I've been doing missions for 39 minutes, and I've only done 3 because they've been so long. Getting the Genji shield took me the better part of an hour to get. What you need to do is 1. Find a magic pot in mission 766, and then you need to equip Gill Toss, Costly Punch, and deal 99,999 damage. Shouldn't be too hard, right? But the last part is pure RNG. You have to activate Octo Slash, which is through the DMW wheel. Even if you have Heavenly status and the materia to boost your Octo Slash chances, it's still such a pain and took so long. I did it! No, I got this item that I needed. I got the Genji shield. Oh my gosh. That took so long. It was literally all RNG. I had to use Octo Slash and I had to line up the Sephiroth. It was awful. I get the trophy for completing 75% of all missions. Defeat the Cactuar in mission 3-1-3 so I can get his image in the mission 10-1-3 and pick up the trophy Limit Break Collector for getting all the DMW images. Shortly after, I scrape together 1 million gil and buy the Genji helm, pick up the Genji glove from a chest in mission 9-6-4, and now it's time to get the trophy DMW Master. This trophy took me quite a long time. The last DMWs that I had to 100% were Genesis, Cloud, Cactuar, and Magic Pot. The setup for this trophy was getting the respective materia from the shops to hopefully trigger the DMWs that we needed. Keyword hopefully. The Genesis DMW was easily the most stressful for me because I kept getting the same cutscene over and over again when I had to get the other one. There's only 2 that you can get. But eventually, I did get them all, and this annoying trophy is over with. As well as the Genji equipment trophy, because we had to unlock 100% DMW progress to get the last piece of the Genji armor. There's only 2 more trophies that we need for the platinum, and that's for completing 100% of the missions and defeating Minerva, the secret boss. Going into the Minerva boss fight, I had max HP and nearly all maxed out stats. The key to me winning this fight was spamming high jump and costly punch. I also farmed up enough SP to tank some hits due to my maxed out SP master materia, and the strategy goes really well. With a lot of potions and ethers, Minerva goes down without really any trouble.
Oh my god, we're doing it. Come on, just a couple more hits. And that's it! Oh! We did it! Divine rule broken. Trophy earned. There it is. You have completed all missions. Mission completionist. And the trophy, My Living Legacy. Acquired all trophies. Whew. This was a time. This was a time. All right, guys, that's going to be all from me. Thank you for joining me on another video. It was a little bit of a longer one, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, as it helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. And click that bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. That's going to be all from me, guys. I'll see you in the next one.